Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez. Welcome to Uncensored. We're going to continue with the Past the Wire series, and we have one of your old favorites back on the wire, which is Cholo Mora. He's speaking to an unknown Mexican Mafia member. I tried to ID this voice. I could not. At first, I thought it was Freddie Montoya from Richmond, but I am just unable to peg this voice, and I ran analysis on a few different voices. I know I have a 10-day report that identifies the individual somewhere, but we're talking about thousands of documents, and it's sometimes difficult to find things in my chaotic system. So I know somebody out there in the viewership, in the YouTube Landia, as they call it, knows who this voice is. So if you want to anonymously drop his name in the comments, then we'll all know. But for right now, he's a mystery. But we know he's a Mexican Mafia member. Listen to the content of the conversation. Listen to them address each other as carnal. Listen to them reference other carnales. This is how you go about the validation process, right? So we consider the spontaneous admission of membership. Under 3378 of the California Administrative Code, self-admission is one of the key factors in the validation process, right? Now, I say that because some people say, well, how do you know he's a member, and what do you use to gauge that, and how do you determine what a member is? So I use a broad scope of analyses, right? And part of that is the definitions, described in this California Administrative Code, which is law. This is what the CDC is governed by, and law enforcement agencies are governed by in the validation process. Every state has a little different system, but the spontaneous admission is a pretty damn good test when saying somebody's a brother, right? Particularly when another made Mexican Mafia member acknowledges them as a brother. So let's run this call. This is about illegal substances being distributed by Mexican organizations. Let's put it that way, okay? All right, here we go.
Enriquez, what's up, man?
What's up?
What's happening?
Not much. What's going on?
Hey,
Yeah.
I need to talk to F. Can you talk to him?
Who's F? Oh, Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna call me back Monday, man.
That's how discreet they are. They say the letter of the name, then they say the name. I told you, man, these guys aren't rocket scientists. And I'm not cracking on them for their lack of intellect or their lack of discretion, but this is almost comical to hear some of these calls. I sit back and I was like, wow, they're going to name names, give out details, monetary amounts, everything. So here we're talking about our old favorite, Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester's back. I told you these calls are incestuous. They overlap, they intertwine, they crossbreed. It's real. We're going to give you a couple examples of how Fox intertwines with all of these Mexican Mafia crews in the street and in prison. And this is just one example.
Monday, okay, I need to talk to him.
All right. When he calls back Monday, I'll let him know.
Yeah, because I heard, I need to holler at him.
All right. I'll let him know when he calls.
Because, that dude, Weddle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this dude here, you got to remember. Remember when I got busted that time?
Yeah, I talked to him this morning. He said he gave little one $15,000 for
He
you.
ain't never gave a motherfucking thing. But I'm
He
not
said-
even tripping on
He
it.
said, listen, hold on, brother, hold on.
Listen,
He
I'm
said
gonna
Leva
right
was
now.
there when he gave him the money.
No, never gave 15 racks.
So what they're talking about, Güero, Little One, I'm going to put up a flow chart right now. You're going to see the organizational structure of what was Operation La Jale. This is the indictment that Fox was involved in. A lot of Mexican Mafia members were involved in, but the distribution network that existed involved all the individuals depicted here. And in some form or another, they're going to be mentioned in the call. So you'll be able to reference these individuals. You have a visual depiction of who they are. Of course, Fox's picture, and we'll have a silhouette up of this unknown mystery man. Let's call him the mystery man. So the mystery man is speaking about this and denying ever receiving $15,000, and that's the dispute, that money of Fox's is missing.
Okay, the Levo put money on my books. Okay.
He said he gave it to him and Levo was there. I don't know. It ain't my business.
That's nothing. That's nothing. I'm not even. See, he thinks I'm tripping on that, and I'm not. Okay. Now, when me and Levo was doing something, okay, we done something, and then I paid her part, like for one of the things, and then the other one, I needed some money when I was busted, and then some other money came up missing, right? Okay, that's something I got to deal with, but.
So here's a carnal that received product and came up short. He's acknowledging that right here now. He came up short with product, or the money for it, right? And there's an old saying in the organization, never involve carnales in your business because they'll destroy it. They'll burn you. All they know is getting over, right? They're a Mexican Mafia member. Who can tell me what to do? If I don't pay the 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, who's going to kill me for it? The guys that give me the product aren't going to eliminate me for that. This is a repeated problem in the organization. Involving members in your specific crew activities is like inviting a toxic disease into your network.
And when I tried to get her to do some work, she said what's name would never meet up with her and would never hook it up. But then, as far as me on the book, man, if it's his, I'll talk to him about it. You know what I mean? But if this dude is trying to put two carnales into the mix, get them against each other, that dude's hella wrong, right? Because that's like one of the first things when they had a junta with us years ago. That's the first thing I remember Termite said. He said, man, back then it was you only work with one and that was it. And if you think you're gonna go with one and then go with another, or put two brothers carnales against each other, your head's gonna roll down the tier. That was pretty much bottom line. And this dude here, I never heard about it. It just was just recently, when I was in San Jose. I ain't never ran. I ain't had nothing going on. I ain't made no money.
The only thing, I don't know. The only thing I know is that Weddle paying for Fox's lawyers and girls' lawyers and.
So the widow that he's speaking of was a member of a Mexican organization. I know this from having participated in the evaluation of his calls. And that's the individual kicking out all the money for Fox's attorneys and whatnot. What led me to believe that this was Freddie Montoya was the reference to San Jose. It could have been another individual, G.I. Joe from San Jose. But I'm not certain of that, so I don't want to say that with certitude and get called on an error. But later on, they start speaking of Freddie Montoya, so it kind of dissuaded me. But the up north reference, the individual staying there, only a select few brothers were out from that area, and the two that I can think of immediately were G.I. Joe and Freddie Montoya.
Okay, all right.
I don't know anything else. That's all I know.
Yeah, but
I know that he said that Fox, Freddie, and Hugo never took care of Fox.
Well, see, that wasn't my business. That wasn't none of our.
So I said, hey man, I don't know shit.
What I told Freddie and them, what I told Hugo and them is when cause they said they were sending money over there doing all this. I said, well, check this out. You guys, until Fox gets out, still got to take care of him.
Yeah, well, they don't.
Yeah, they took that responsibility. They said, okay.
Fox only accounted for $500 from them.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
That's what I was told, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy, man.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Say I give you some clavo, right?
Okay.
And I tell you, hey, look, this is for what it's going for.
Okay.
And you say, okay, bring me so many. I take them to you. Then months go by, and then you start tripping that why did you get it so expensive? And la 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 la.
Why did you give the what?
Why did we give it to that person so expensive, right?
Uh-huh.
But you knew when I gave it to you how much it was worth, how much we gave it to you for. So why did you take it and now you're trying to backpedal and say, fuck that, is too much money, we're paying for it, and la 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 la. So I look at it this way. If you knew it was that expensive and you took it and now you're backpedaling, that means you have bad intentions from the fucking beginning.
I mean, what if you were never even told? Now, were you told that price?
Yeah, everything was put on the table when everybody received what they received. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And first it was that it didn't work. Next it was that it was too sensitive. So it's like all these excuses. To me, it looks like you were trying to get over us.
Well, it's like who was?
I'm just saying.
Okay, now look at this. Trip off this one. Trip off this. Okay, now back one time when they
So
gave
what Fox is saying is this individual received a product for X amount of dollars, and then after he received it, he's balking at the price, and Cholo feels that everybody was told the price of the product, so they knew going in. This individual the mystery man sounds pretty slippery. Because if you do a transaction, anybody knows that, you agree upon X amount of dollars, you pay X amount of dollars. You don't change that after you receive the product and try to renegotiate. That's not how it works. So let's continue with the call.
When they gave me that one bullshit, that 2 piece, when they gave, what's your name, all those things, right? And I got it, and we never quoted price. But then later on, they said, oh, but it was going for this much. And I said, they never told me that. They told somebody else. And I said, man, that's what you were charging for that? And they said, well, that's what the price is. I said, no, it wasn't. And I said, so you're telling me them two, that's what the price would have been for me? Well, no, but that's what, we were going to charge that much. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How are you going to charge him? Okay, once before, when we first came back from there, they told Little One had did something with them. And then they told him it was 9.5. Remember, he was trying, and you guys got upset with him. Remember?
They're speaking of Little One from MS-13, an individual who was made a Mexican Mafia member, then immediately put on the shelf while he was in the county jail.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? When on the other end of the spectrum, Blanco he was going around telling everyone he can get him to him for 8. And I even told him one time, I said, 8? I said, what? They charged my boy Little 9.5.
Yeah.
And then that's when you guys got upset, like, Dad, man, we ain't gonna pay. You thought he was trying to get over on you. But that really was the price. I don't know, but if everyone knows, if you know what the amount was, I mean, I would assume that, yeah, see, like that's why if I was to do something. And then you tell me, I buy a car from you, you tell me, well, this is the going rate of it. I mean, that's set rate, you know what I mean? But if you don't tell me, oh, we'll work it out, then there's no set rate, But if there's a set rate, then, yeah, I mean, if you're told a price, you're told a price, But I know one thing with old boy, right? Man, I wish he would come talk, because you got to remember, he would never meet up. I mean, he disappeared on D. Rico. He disappeared on. He never disappeared on me. He never even came around me. Just kept shooting messages. But I never even wanted to get at him about that.
Well, now he's talking to me because Fox told him to talk to me.
Yeah. Well, but I never, man. You know what? I know one thing. Little he got over. Okay, whatever he gave me. If he gave him 15 racks, I never received it. And I'll put that on everything.
Yeah, he told me he gave him to Little One.
Yeah, well, if he did, I'm not even worried about that. Man, that's been dead and gone. You know what I mean? So, you know how many times people say they've done something for me and haven't? Shit. I can name on a few hands who's looked out for me, and they're Garnales now. You know what I mean? So, you guys did. You, Baz, man, if it wasn't for you and Baz for a long time, and Chiquilin, man, like, yourself, man, I was fucking ass out. Like I am now, pretty much, man. I'm doing bad, bro. But you know what? I weathered the storm. You know what I mean? What do I do, man? You know what I mean? I know first money I do get, I'm going over across the border. I'm going to go visit some people, man. I'm going to go hunt down Cholo, and then holler at him, you know what I mean? You know, I'm not. I mean, them dudes are shit. You know, but that's another issue, man. This other thing on me is, but when I heard that coming up, I'm like, oh man, hold up. I'm not even. Swear to God, I'm not even tripping on him because honestly, I liked him when I met him. And then the next time, that next night we went over there, I'm like, man, what the f*** are we doing over here? You guys are tripping. Man, over here walking around this residential neighborhood like this. And then no sooner did we leave and we got shot. Okay, but that's, but I ain't tripping on that. You know what I mean? You know, I had D. Man, D's the one that looked out for me when I was bust. You know what I mean? So, D was out, right? You know what I mean? And that was enough. You know what I mean? That was enough. He made me survive, you know. But as far as like, well, what's his name? He didn't do shit to use me to clear up his own shit. You know what I mean? But as far as with old boy, let him know, man. I'm not tripping. I ain't got no hidden agendas, man. I would like to be able to, work with him because, like that. He never watched the media. He always thinks him up to trying to get him, right? Because you know what? I think he did get got by P. I sent word one time and asked him, did P get him, right? Because P had gotten somebody over in where he's from, where he lives at. And he would never say who it was. I know it was a Paisa, and I think Little was the one that set him up on that. Because Little knew everything about him. I didn't know shit about him.
This guy runs on extensively, and it's repetitive. This is a repetitive call. They'll go over the issue again of the missing money for Fox. And I don't see the necessity in running the entirety of the call. I'll run a couple more minutes just so you get a flavor of the finality of it. But he's spewing information about everybody and in detail. It's not hard to figure out what they're talking about. This isn't rocket science. You guys are getting pretty good at interpreting this. I think some of you have been shocked as to the nature of real Mexican Mafia members talking on the phone like this. It's taken you aback. And you've questioned, like, the organization in and of itself, the intelligence of the members. Some of these guys are pretty smart. They just don't care. And I think that's what it really boils down to, particularly the individuals who are serving life sentences. The thing here, both of these individuals are in the streets, and they're talking this loosely on the phone. And it resulted in indictments. These calls are the result of discovery, the discovery process. And the discovery process is when the prosecution presents its case to the courts and turns over all evidence to the defense, such as recorded calls, intercepted communications in written format, and whatever it is that they have, eyewitnesses, the whole nine, the witness list. That's the discovery process. So this is a piece of discovery in a court case that has been adjudicated. And by that I mean resolved in the courts. It's been resolved in the courts. I would never put forth communications that are active or a case that has been unadjudicated that was still going through the court judicial process, right? That's out of fairness to the defendant. I don't want to taint anybody's mind. You guys make up your own decisions about what this stuff is and how you want to think about the individuals. And I don't want to taint your view on them. So let's run a little bit more of this call, and then we'll close it up, and we'll bring an episode of something a little different in the future.
Hey, now coming to be this motherfucking little one pocket a lot of fucking money.
And I can guarantee you that he owes still to this day. He owes. That there's. I don't know if you ever met the book. He's an old fellow, dude, always in a wheelchair. But
just so you get an idea, this is where the campaign on Little One starts. Quite a bit of money turned up missing, approximately $30,000. This is $15,000 of it. It was attributed to Little One pocketing the money. He was eventually put in the hat for this and stripped of his status as a Mexican Mafia member. Like he was a flash in the pan. He got made and then stripped immediately. As a result of this is a contributing factor to that.
But at the gambling houses, right? Every time they have them gambling, hey, I seen him one time. Man, he was like 20 racks, right? And that was way before, And and he owed that dude a lot of money back then, But I bet you he sold that. But because I know once I holler at the brother, right? Me and him, we've talked before about things. But I know it'll be all cool. Hey, brother, if I owe you, I owe you. But man, tell your boyfriend, help me, get something because shit, If I mean, how do you pay someone when you ain't got nothing to pay them with? You know, shit.
Better find the money. Better find the money somewhere, because mob don't play when it comes to money. With that said, folks, that'll conclude this call. This is basically just small talk at the end of the conversation. But I wanted to give you different characters to listen to, different subject matter, a different mode of communication, which is not really different at all. They say everything on the phone. Hope you enjoyed this call. We're going to put up graphics of all the players and their names so that you get, again, a visual depiction of who's speaking, what they're speaking about, who they're speaking of. Again, I encourage each of you to go to the Patreon page. It'll be up soon if it's not up already. Support the channel site. We will keep the prices reasonably priced so as not to hurt anybody's pocketbook. But again, the channel needs resources to continue producing content. Thank you all for watching this video. Keep this channel going. Even the YouTube channel will be feeding it as well. We'll be putting out clips of all episodes to be posted on Patreon. So with that said, peace out, folks.